Back everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we returned with our second semifinals of the night. We just wrapped up with the lower semis of Hero versus Shameless, and now we're here with the upper semifinals of MaxPax and Gerald. Here we go. We're here to determine who faces off against Hero in those grand finals, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of El Dorado, we have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Sizestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And if you're in the chats, predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets, get your gamba going. And best of luck with those predictions as we get into our semi-finals. MaxPax, he is the heavy favorite. There's a reason why MaxPax is the #1 seed of the tournament, as he has won many PiGosaur Mondays in the past, in the history of PiGosaur Monday. We'll see if Gerald can cause an upset. We have seen Gerald bring down MaxPax before. It has happened. He has caused this upset in the past, but it is still an upset. He's still the underdog in this series. The pressure is on. And already we load into one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool. I'm a little bit shocked. Welcome one and all to El Dorado. We're here for the gold bases. Let's go. We're here for the gold. For now, we do have our economic openers here. It is going to be a gate expand here from our two players on the low ground at the natural. We'll see how many gases are taken. We can see double gas out of Gerald, single gas, delayed gas by MaxPax. Now, what does this mean? This means that MaxPax, ideally, he would want a faster Nexus, but it's going to be on Gerald to delay that with the pylon block. Here we go. Cybercore has been thrown down for both players. Cybercores are on the way, and we'll see if Gerald can delay the expand. Now, if we're able to, then we should be entering our tech of choice. It should be a Stargate follow-up here from Gerald, Stargate by MaxPax. If both players open Stargate, then both players make Phoenixes, and that is how Phoenix Wars are born. There we go. We're getting educational here, for those who are unaware. For those that are like, how are Phoenixes made? How are Phoenix Wars, how are they birthed? Like this. Just like this. We're watching. Cybercores are done. There we go. Stargate from MaxPax. And we should be seeing a Stargate from Gerald. There we go. Stargate versus Stargate. Phoenix versus Phoenix. Phoenix Wars have begun. Now, the way that Phoenix Wars work, of course, is it is very much so on a knife's edge. Depending on the engagement, depending on who catches who out, one Phoenix going down, that could just spell the end of the game. Now, we could see a player try to deviate away. It is possible to try to break out of Phoenix Wars with a faster Twilight Council into Blink, but only if it goes unscouted. So we'll see if either player does try to mix it up. Otherwise, Nexus here for MaxPax. We should be seeing one from Gerald momentarily. There we go. Nexus is on the way. MaxPax being assertive, moving out with his initial units. Phoenix already on the way as well. And he will apply pressure here to the natural. And Gerald, it does feel like he is one step behind. Depth shading in. Threatens the pylon. Zealot has arrived as well. And we'll see what MaxPax can get done. As MaxPax is building up those Phoenixes. And depth shading into the main. Gets a probe. Gets one. Ooh, gets two. Two workers go down. A Zealot's under fire. Gerald's in a little bit of trouble here. Back at home, MaxPax, he does defend. We'll see if either player goes for a faster second Stargate. There it is, second Stargate for MaxPax. He is embracing mass Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Gerald's across the map. He is going for a Twilight Council. Bold move. As we just mentioned, it is possible to try to break free from Phoenix Wars and get into Blink Stalkers, but only if this goes unscattered. Checking the vision here, MaxPax, he is unaware. If MaxPax applies pressure, there is a period, there's a window in time where MaxPax should be ahead in Phoenixes. And he is. And he takes down the Phoenix. Phoenix here should fall for Gerald. Gonna be zoned away. Instead, MaxPax came with the production. And killing more probes. Another worker goes down. There was a strong start for MaxPax. He doesn't catch out Gerald, but the Phoenixes are quite low. They're quite low here for Gerald. Does survive. Shield battery finishing up. And checking the vision, MaxPax, I believe he has not seen the tech yet. But now he knows. Now he is aware. Oh, being forced back. Nice control, takes down a Phoenix. One Phoenix goes down. And remember, nice shuffling here from MaxPax. Remember, he's making two Phoenixes at a time, and Blink is nowhere near finishing. It's nowhere near done. Gerald is vulnerable. Stalkers are on the way. Shield batteries, they do help. MaxPax, he confirms that Gerald, he has stopped Phoenix production. And MaxPax, he hasn't. He's going for his own robo behind this into Immortal production. Dipping in between the bases. Blink is halfway done. And Gerald, he still needs more gateways. And he just dives in. He just dives on the army. Takes out both Phoenixes, takes out the Stalkers. And what can Gerald do here? He can melee watch. I mean, the overcharge does help. But he lifts up both Stalkers. Not like this. Both Stalkers get lifted. Shield batteries out of energy. Phoenixes as well, running out of energy. They are running out, but there's too much. There's too many Phoenixes. They take down the Stalkers one after the other. And Gerald, he has nothing left. He has nothing left. He's down to 2 Stalkers in the main. Now, MaxPax, he's running out of energy. True. He can't lift. Not anymore. Not until now. As he's waiting for reinforcements. Trying to camp the production. Gerald taking a third. As we settle in, big shout out to Miguelito. Gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you enjoyed your Diamond EU gameplay. Hope you had a great time. Gracias, papi, gracias. And welcome one and all to the PiGosaur Monday Cup, number 14. Welcome to the semifinals. Welcome to the PiGosaur Protoss Cup. Let's go. As we've only had purely Protoss for most of the night, and we only have Protoss players remaining, so I do apologize if you're here for Terran gameplay. I do apologize, but regardless, we have some quality gamers nonetheless. As MaxPax, he dives into the mineral line, the Stalker count is building up. But MaxPax's drive-by is insane. He gets 4 more probe kills back at home, getting his own 3rd base, and this entire time he's been building up his Immortals. His Immortal count is just building up. +1 air attack on the way. MaxPax, he still maintains air control. But the Stalker count is getting up there. Unfortunately, Gerald, he still has a lot of recovering to do. He's still down in the economy. But he survives. Gerald, he does survive. MaxPax pulling away. Again, building up those Immortals. Gerald, he's crazy. Being active, he will come across them. Does commit. Oh, gets 1 Immortal. And he's going to attempt to recall. Will escape. Will get away. Not a bad trade here for Gerald. Getting an Immortal for a handful of Stalkers. Gerald likewise getting a proxy gateway up and running. Building up that Stalker army. And I do think there's a little potential here for Gerald. As long as there aren't too many Phoenixes. I mean, there's going to be a lot of lifts. There's how many Phoenixes? There's 13. 13 Phoenixes against 16 Stalkers. Now 18. Triggers the shields. Goes for the dive. And takes out one of the Immortals. And takes out the 2nd Immortal as well. Gerald, he can take this. Stalkers are being lifted. But MaxPax is being forced back. Nicely done here by Gerald. He fights back. The Immortal count was reset. I do think that MaxPax was premature. I do think he moved in too soon. And he could have had up to 4 Immortals. Now he's down to 1. Now he's down to 1 Immortal. Void Ray production has begun for MaxPax. Again, he has a bit of an awkward setup here. And Gerald, he can pull this off. Once again, diving in. But the shield battery is done. The Immortal tanks a lot of volleys. The Immortal eventually goes down. But this time, this is a better trade here for MaxPax. Yeah, it takes down the Stalker army. Another Immortal comes in just in time. 1 Immortal, it's all it takes. And Gerald, he gets cleaned up. He gets completely cleaned up. The proxy will fall. Gerald, he's trying to get his own 3rd base up running. He's trying to rebuild his army. But alas, he's down to 3 Stalkers. These are the survivors. This is what remains. And MaxPax is still just building out more Immortals, Void Rays, Fleet Beacons on the way for the Mothership, another Stargate for Skytos. There was a period in time where I was concerned with MaxPax, but I mean, we've reached critical mass of Phoenix. Like, at this point, they can just lift every single Stalker. As they head towards the mineral lines. Wreak havoc. Gonna be another 6 probes going down. Nicely done here by MaxPax. And when behind, Dark Shrine. I mean, what else can we do? Dark Shrine is on the way. For those DTs, there is potential. There we go. I see in chat, a small tip, you shouldn't pre-watch these games and spoil builds before they happen. What? This is live. What are you talking about? This is live, and we don't pre-watch any games. Even when we cast from replays, there are some times when we do cover replays on the channel. Even then, we never pre-watch. I think that's typically done by the YouTubers. I know that that is done by, I don't know, like Winter and Logo, for example, and Pig, but there's reason for that. That's because they don't cast everything. They pick and choose what they cast. So they like vet the replays ahead of time. But that's not something that we do here. Otherwise, if you're complimenting our otherwise like predictions or like reads on games and reads on builds, then thank you so much. Do appreciate it. As everything gets lifted. Everything gets lifted. GG gets called as MaxPax. He snowballs out of control, and MaxPax will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. But yeah, otherwise, thank you if that's what you're trying to say. But there are certain builds and certain play styles that are more favorable on some maps than others. That's just how things go. So you can kind of like read ahead of time what players are going to be going for and what they embrace. Likewise, certain players have certain tendencies as well. So there is a level of predictability. So, gracias. As we're getting into game number 2. Game number 2 is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. I was wondering whether Reyna's Protoss might be better than Clem's. On a more serious note, I know that we were joking about the best Protoss in the world. On a more serious note, I do think it is very difficult to judge the Protoss of Reyna and Clem just because we don't see a lot of them. Obviously, they both ladder a lot as Protoss, right? They both ladder a lot, and you know, we can point to and we can say that Clem, he is the highest rated Protoss player on EU, or at least that was true for a time. That was like a couple of weeks ago. Like, we can say that, but again, like, we can't really, it's hard to judge just because the sample size of games is very low. It's very low. He does compete as Protoss every now and then, but compared to the amount of games that we have of Hero and MaxPax, for example, like, then it is easier to kind of like judge like the level of skill of a player. With less games, it's harder to judge. So on the serious, wait, just joking. On a serious note, it's kind of hard to tell how good it is, but you know, over time, as we get more matches, as we cast more of Clem as Protoss, then we'll get a better idea, right? Especially if we end up casting some of his other matchups, because at the moment, like, we're really only broadcasting as PvT for good reason. But like, that's like all we're really getting an idea of. We've heard like murmurings of his other matchups, that is true, but not really showcased as much. As we're settling into our game number 2, our second game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Psystorm Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player, the Blue Protoss from the land of Poland, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. I don't think this even has a delay. Yes, there is no delay. Exclamation mark delay in the chat. I thought this was a replay cast, my apologies. So yes, it will be a compliment. Thank you. But yes, if we ever have a replay cast, it is usually stated in the title of the stream. It's usually stated. And again, even when we do cover replays, like for example, recently we did cast Home Story Cup Group A and Group B. Those are replay casts. But ahead of time, we don't watch the games ahead of time, and we do not see the score ahead of time either. That's not what we do here. Not what we do. Always spoiler free. For now though, we should be seeing some 2-gate openers from both players. There we go, 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Likewise, oh, right. I forgot I'm casting MaxPax. 2-gate opener out of Gerald, and it's going to be a gate cyber expand out of MaxPax. I say that ideally MaxPax typically goes Stargate before expand. There it is, Stargate has been placed, and this is just the go-to. This is the MaxPax opener in PvP. We saw last game that Gerald did emulate this, but that is only done on maps that are more defendable, on maps that have ramps coming into the natural. Here on ley lines, there is no ramp. There is no ramp, so it is considered unsafe and unwise to go for this kind of opener. It is why we often see MaxPax playing against players that are just going all in. So Gerald, he has to make a choice. He does confirm the opener. He does attempt to delay. In the process, he forces out a Zealot. Nexus has been placed. And Gerald, he is expanding. So Gerald just 2-gate opener into an expand. Gerald, he is going to be slightly behind here in the Nexus timing. And we'll see what Gerald can get done. So we are going to be entering a macro game. Now, because Gerald did not open Stargate because of his own 2-gate opener, that means that this time MaxPax, instead of making Phoenixes, Oracle. It's going to be an Oracle opener instead. He can move out, he can harass, of course. If he confirms there is an all-in coming, he can start Void Ray production, but for now, Oracles are all he needs. That is just a way to scout and to get economic damage done across the map. As it does go down. MaxPax catching out the army, coming in with the Oracle. And Gerald, he's caught out in the open. First Stalker goes down. First Stalker and the second Stalker thereafter. Brutal pickoffs, a lot of damage dealt to the Oracle, but alas, the Oracle does survive, can regenerate its shields, and here comes the second Oracle as well. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot workers. A shield battery is not going to be enough to defend against this. There is a shield battery in the main, but as we just mentioned, 2 Oracles that don't care about your shield battery. Do not care. MaxPax, he rallies across the map. Blink is on the way. MaxPax, he dives into the main, just with the 1 Oracle though. The shield battery is enough. So a little bit of an awkward engagement there from MaxPax. He is deflected, he has to back off. And our players will settle down. We have a tech of choice. Gerald's going for Blink. Likewise, so is MaxPax. So Blink Stalkers are on the horizon. And Gerald's setting up a proxy across the map. Interesting. Our eyes are on Gerald. We'll see how many gateways he throws down. This could be the beginning of a 2-base all-in. If he throws down extra gates. But now he has 3 at home and 1 across the map. 4-gate Blink. Let's go. So very committed, very aggressive here from Gerald. Getting up to 4 gateways. Oracles, they dive into the main. They get 2 probes. 1 Oracle goes down. Nice defense here by Gerald. And MaxPax is expanding. He's taking a 3rd. Behind this, he's on 3 gates, which isn't too bad, but again, Gerald, he's going to be up in production and up in Stalkers as a result. This nation does confirm the setup. There's the expansion. There's the Nexus. So as MaxPax is expanding, Gerald, he's committing. So Gerald, again, he will have extra gateways, extra Stalkers. That is another gateway on the way. That's going to be a 5-gate setup. Oh my god, that's a lot of gateways. And here we go, Gerald, he's moving out. Blink is done in a couple of seconds. Looks like Gerald, he will expand behind this, so he's not going for an all-in, assuming that he throws down the Nexus. There we go. Nexus is on the way. An unfortunate timing as Gerald moves out. MaxPax, he moves in. Gerald is out of position. Reinforcing back at home. The 3rd base is under fire. And Gerald is going to be forced to cancel. But as a reminder, Gerald, he does have 5 gateways. So he can just reinforce across the map and just send it. He's going for it. Dives into the natural. MaxPax is racing back home. Ooh. A little bit indecisive. Commits to the natural as well. And we're going for a pseudo base trade. Gerald, he blinks in. Likewise, MaxPax pushing into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. And Gerald, he's getting a lot of damage done. A lot of workers are going down. Back at home, Gerald, he's holding. And MaxPax is not. Yeah, probes are falling left and right. 17, 18 probe kills. And MaxPax, he's in trouble. And again, MaxPax, he was probing. He was investing, of course, in the expansion. Gerald less so. Back at home, MaxPax, he is gaining ground, pushing into the main. Still has an army. Gerald likewise pushing in. Picking up more workers. MaxPax going for the production. Depowers the gateways, not bad. Pushing into the main. And still up in the air, still very close. Gerald, he kills 26 probes, but MaxPax, he still has the comparable probe counts. Out, he's forced out. He's forced out of the main. Across the map, more probes are falling. And MaxPax, he will hold, but I mean, that's where the proxy comes in. But Gerald, he's out of gas. He's out of gas income. He has minerals. We're bringing a handful of stalkers. Gerald, he's still up in army supply. 9 stalkers to 7. Oh. Gerald, he does pull away in time. Pushing towards the natural. Gerald, he's up 10 workers, diving on the main army. No shield battery. No shield battery to defend. No defensive setup here. Gerald just chasing down MaxPax. Catching up more probes. Additional reinforcements have arrived. And Gerald, can he force the ace match? Can he break MaxPax? So far, it's looking good. So far, it's looking good here for Gerald. Catching out more stalkers. Nice control. Diving on the army. And MaxPax, he just can't build up. He just cannot build up. He's trying to. Oh my god. I mean, nice control. He is picking away at the army. Gerald, he's forced back. Behind this, he still has better saturation. Or a higher worker count, I should say. Now getting his own third. Alas, the lack of gases did slow him down quite a bit. And MaxPax survives. He saves the base. Does save the expansion. Throwing down stasis traps. Now, even though MaxPax is down in stalkers, if these stasis traps, if they pop off, if they catch out the army, then MaxPax, he can shut this down. Can shut this down. The army is spotted. Gerald, he moves in. Stasis goes off. Ooh. Catching out 4 stalkers. But he's going for the expansion, and the Nexus, it's gonna go down. Oh. Nicely done. Base falls. And MaxPax, he's up against the wall. The stasis! Oh no! The stasis finishes! Bit of miscontrol there from Gerald. Ay, ay, ay. Did not get on top of the stasis in time. Okay. MaxPax, he can still pull this off. Another stasis in the main. Another stasis goes off. Gerald, barely any mining. Barely any economy. Not like this. As MaxPax is moving out. Going for the third. Shield battery's not quite ready. Stalker counts are quite close. Very neck and neck. MaxPax pulling away. Gerald, he repowers that gateway. But alas, it's going to be shut down. Gerald now reinforcing with an immortal. Oh, the stasis. Oh, not again. Oh my god. This time Gerald, he notices. Baits out the stasis trap. Does bait it out. Reinforcing with the immortal. Collapsing on the army. Nice dive here from MaxPax. Does focus out the immortal. But alas, we'll lose a lot of stalkers in the process. Boys are being pulled once again. Gerald is being forced back, but he gets 11 workers. MaxPax still down in the economy. Punished for the dive. Attempting to double expand. Getting a 4th. Is spotted by Gerald. Another stasis goes off. The stasis traps. Let's go. MaxPax doing everything he can to fight back. Catching a stalker. Trading 1-to-1. Immortal production on the way for both players. A +2 is on the way for Gerald, so he will be ahead in upgrades. But not for too long, though. MaxPax not too far behind in the upgrade count. +2 is also on the way. Still very tense. Still very tense between the two players. Probe counts are neck and neck. Both players taking a fourth. We'll see if Gerald can deny the expansion. As he does sneak up, and MaxPax out of position. Ooh, that's a kill on a cancel. 400 minerals down the drain. And Gerald just has to get the hell out of here. MaxPax trying to chase him down. Trading with the army. Nice control here out of Gerald. Picks off another Stalker. Does get another. The very idea of MaxPax opening 2 gate, preposterous. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Pat. And we're just going for a base trade at this point. We're just sending it across the map. MaxPax takes down the 4th. Meanwhile, Gerald is pushing in towards the 3rd. And this is the best chance for MaxPax, is just to embrace the base trade. How about there's a recall back home? Does recall Max. Zelze coming from behind the collapse of the Immortal. The Immortal is going to be targeted. And Gerald, he holds. He holds across the map. He's coming back here for a surround. And MaxPax, he cannot escape this. GG gets called, and Gerald, he ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We're going all the way to game 3. And again, a very, very tense game. Winding it back a little bit did come down to the fact that MaxPax, he was gearing up for a longer game. He had invested into a 3rd base. He invested into his workers. And Geralt was going for a borderline 2 base all in, as he built up to 5 gateways. Not quite 6, but he was on 5 gateways with a proxy across the map. If you remember, his 3rd base was denied, which means he could just reinforce and commit. And with that, he was able to wreak havoc. He was able to punish MaxPax. What was crazy is that, if you recall, Geralt, he killed, what was it, like 26 probes, and the worker counts were still very close. I mean, that just shows just how far ahead economically MaxPax was, but alas, he just wasn't able to keep up. He wasn't able to minimize his losses. He lost far too much in the end, and Gerald, he took it from there. GG. GG, well played. Gerald, he does have the series. Now we're going all the way to the ace match, and this could go either way. This could still go either way. Game 3 is going to be on one of the newer maps. We're going to be loading into Star Child. Oh boy. Star Child is up next. Here we go. Raiders play a little more matchups and stuff as Protoss in tournaments too. That is true. That is true. But again, it's still not too many games in the grand scheme of things, unfortunately. But regardless, we're going to be seeing, I'm sure, some more of the off-racing of Clem and Raynor over time. So we'll get a better idea. So we're getting into the ace match, game number 3. We're still embracing our PvP here. And is there a world where MaxPax doesn't make it to the finals? I mean, there is a world where that happens. Is that this world? We're here to find out. Is spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Storm Gaming, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Streamer Zone, tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. Can he? I mean, momentum is on his side. Can he take it all the way? It is Gerald. Here we go. Now, welcome one and all to Star Child. This is one of the newer maps that has been added to this tournament map pool. As a reminder, this map is not on the ladder, so this is not the LE edition. This is the TLMC edition instead for the Team Liquid map contest. And we are here to, again, embrace one of the other maps out there made by the community for the community, instead of some of the older maps in the ladder map pool. So here we go. When it comes to Star Child, out of the 3 added maps to this tournament map pool, Star Child is the largest, I believe, is the most macro-oriented compared to Talisman and compared to Airhome. So this is the largest. There's a lot of bases. A lot of bases can be taken. Very defendable as well. There's a lot of rocks in the center of the map, a lot of choke points as well, a lot of points of elevation. So I would say it is easier here to get up to a 3 and 4 base economy and embrace a longer game state. We'll see if that's the case though. as Gerald, he does open up 2-gate. 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Meanwhile, Gate Cyber into Stargate into expansion from MaxPax. Again, this is just MaxPax's opener. It's his go-to. It's his go-to. Gerald going for the proxy in the natural. He's crazy. The pylon has been placed, and it's going to be a 1-base all-in. Again, this natural is quite large. Zealot has arrived. And does he check? Oh, it's going to be on Gerald to distract. Yeah, he's distracting the Zealot. Goes into the main, keeping the Zealot distracted. And will MaxPax, will he scout? Will he check? As again, there is a lot of space here behind the mineral line. MaxPax still being distracted by that probe. He checks! MaxPax, he checks, he knows. He now finds out what's going on, and he responds with his own Stargate. He still will expand, of course. And with the Stargate opener, we should be seeing a Void Ray. Should be seeing Void Ray here from MaxPax. He forces a cancel. MaxPax defends. Aye. Cheeky move out of Geralt. Very cheeky. Unfortunately, did not quite pay off. Going for a more later expansion here. Nexus has been placed. And we can settle in. We can calm down. We can settle in. Aye. When are we going to have the all-random tournament? I mean, that's happened in the past. I'm sure someone will host that at some point again as like a fun one-off event. I'm sure at some point it'll happen. I mean, I say that, didn't Dave host an all-random tournaments like a week ago? I think, right? It was like last week where Dave, he hosted an all-random tournament, and I think the finals was Jumi versus Trigger, if I remember correctly. I think it was Jumi versus Trigger. Again, that was last week. As MaxPax, he does push forward. Again, after forcing the cancel, went Oracle first. No Void Ray, didn't need it. Applies pressure. Geralt, he's in a lot of trouble. Setting up his own proxy across the map. Opening up Twilight Council into Blink. This looks like a proxy Dark Shrine. Stasis is denied, and natural under fire. I mean, there's not too much to work with here, so it's going to take a while to bring down the expansion. Oh god, no! As the stasis pops up. Oh no, the second stasis trap catching out most of the economy. Most of the probes, not like this. Meanwhile, yep, it is going to be proxy Dark Shrine. It's going to be all or nothing for Geralt. Very cheeky maneuver. Stasis doesn't quite go off. Geralt trying to bait it out. Trying to. Trading with the army. Now, unfortunately here, when it comes to the proxy Dark Shrine, is that there's an Oracle. There's an Oracle, there's NG Overcharge as well, which means there's a high chance of Revelations being available for MaxPax. I guess technically Stargate openers were buffed this patch against something like proxy or something like DTs. Because, yep, there it is, there's the NG Overcharge. So extra NG here than we otherwise would have had for the Oracle, which means extra Revelations. Assuming that MaxPax does set up back at home. Dark Shrine's on the way. There's a Stasis Trap. MaxPax scouting the 4th location. Setting up at home to defend. The Dark Shrine does complete. How many DTs? How hard do we commit? Oh! As MaxPax is scouting, he will check and he will not quite get eyes on the proxy. Just barely misses it. Just barely. Shadow Stride is on the way. And we have 2 DTs warping in. Oh, meanwhile, the main armies, they miss each other. MaxPax does force a cancel with the 3rd. Geralt's moving in. Uh-oh, and we're ending up in a pseudo base trade. Yeah, we're just committing here. MaxPax, he hits the natural at the same time. Geralt pushes into the natural as well. Stasis, nice bait here on the Stasis Trap. Forces the recall. Armor recalls back home. Oracle goes down. The Oracle falls. No detection. 0 detection. DTs, they bust into the main. They bust into the natural. The Oracle has been sniped. And damage is being done. Geralt, can he pull this off? He sniped the Oracle. Observer's on the way. The Observer just now began. 11 probe kills. The DTs are popping off. 13 probes go down. This will be cleaned up, but very nice damage here from Geralt. He's going for the Artosis Pylon. Will depower everything in the main. Denying and delaying +1. No shot. Again, that was a crazy dive out of Gerald, sniping that Oracle. Did snipe it, did shut it down. Finally, MaxPax will defend. I mean, MaxPax is still ahead when it comes to the third base timing, and the worker counts are still neck and neck. Like, this is good damage out of Gerald, but MaxPax is still quite comparable here to his opponent. Still has a comparable economy, still has a comparable army size as well. Like, MaxPax, he's not dead. He's not out of this yet. Still anyone's game. But Gerald, he has recovered from an otherwise rough opener. As the Dark Templar still being active. MaxPax, he's looking for the proxy. He still hasn't found it. The Dark Templar that's spotted. MaxPax is in position. He's got 3 observers. Jesus. Very heavy observer count. Gerald, he does a blink away. Getting his third base saturated. Attempting to catch out these stalkers. Will be able to. Nice movement. I say that MaxPax, he punishes. Catches one stalker. You know, we're waiting for that run by. Waiting for that counterattack. MaxPax seems to be pushing in. 4 probes going down. Oh, Gerald attending us around. Dark Templar getting caught out. MaxPax pushing further in. And we're just waiting for those reinforcements. Gerald, he does warp in time. Did recall back home. Attacking from one angle. MaxPax instead setting up the flank instead. And catching out Gerald. Coming in from behind. Coming from multiple angles. And MaxPax is overwhelming. He overwhelms the main army. The boys are being pulled. It was a slick move here out of Gerald earlier to go for those DTs. But alas, not enough damage. Now we have more of a back and forth. Both players expanding. Gerald, he does hold. He's holding. Barely holding on. Both players taking into charge. +1. Immortal production. +2 is on the way for MaxPax. So MaxPax needs to head in upgrades. Going for his own Dark Shrine as well. MaxPax is pushing in. Again, just skirting around the edge of the map. Gerald's heavily probing. Gerald's out of position. We'll bleed out some of these pylons. 1, 2 pylons go down. Gerald trying to come in from behind. Going for the Immortal. Goes to the dive. Takes out the Immortal. Very nice catch out of Gerald. And MaxPax overextends. Putting out Zealots and Immortal. The Sentry. Very nicely done here by Gerald. Oh, the surround! The reinforcement, the proxy coming into play. MaxPax getting caught out twice here. At the same time going for a Zealot run by. Alas, there's a shield battery. There's a defensive warp in. And Gerald, he's forced back home. Is forced all the way back. There's that warp prism. MaxPax now has his own DTs. Gerald, he actually doesn't come back to defend, which means workers are going to be going down. Oh, this is a rough decision here from Gerald. He doesn't know how much danger he's in. DTs are fanning out. No cannons in position. And Gerald, he's about to be forced all in. Ah, no. Not like this. Yeah, he's just losing everything. Every worker is going down. 20 probe kills. As there's a DT in every single base. And the economy is non-existent. At this point, it's all or nothing for Gerald. There's no recovering from here. Again, he just didn't know there were DTs. He thought he was safe. That's why he committed. And now the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Gerald. The worse it is for the blue Protoss. The prism goes down, no more reinforcements. Gerald is trying to trade. And again, Gerald, he had a lot of really good moments in this game. I was very impressed. Whether it was the DT harass, whether it was catching out and out positioning MaxPax. Some very nice moments here for Gerald, but alas, the Invisible Man. Alas, the Invisible Man is just too good, Pappy. GG gets called. And MaxPax with the DTs does take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, MaxPax. He does take it. A very nice comeback there for MaxPax. And again, he just forced the all-in. He forced the all-in out of Gerald. Gerald, he was not ready for that. He was not expecting DTs of all things, of course, to bust into the bases, to wreak havoc. And with that, he was woefully underprepared. We have a term for it. Well, what happened, Pappy? The pants were down. Gerald, he got caught with his pants down, and with that, MaxPax takes the series. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax, he will take the series, and now we have our grand finals. It is going to be a best of 5 between MaxPax and Hero. Let's go. We are getting ready for that final match, for the final series of the tournament. Bam. Here we go. We are getting to that final series. And we have seen Hero and MaxPax face off many times in these online tournaments, and they do go back and forth. What I will say is that MaxPax is favored. MaxPax, he, I would say, has the best PvP in the world, or at least he did. We have seen him, though, drop maps and drop series to players like Gerald, to players like Hero, to players like Trigger. We'll see if they can do that off here, can pull that off again. We'll see. I expect this to be a short series, I'll be honest. I expect a short best of 5. I expect quick games, a lot of aggression, all-ins. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see who's going to be this week's PiGosaur Monday champion, the first champion of 2024. Who's it going to be? Invisible Man beats Invisible Man. True, true. This is why PvP is unwinnable. Unwinnable. For now, we're going to be going on a short break, waiting for the vetoes to complete, and when we come back, we'll have our next series. When we come back, we'll have the grand finals. See you soon.